everyone, welcome to SLNS IAS Academy's Daily Current Affairs. This is Pavani Reddy. Let us see the important news articles in the current affairs. Our discussion starts with the first important initiative, that is the Bharat Taxi Initiative. Okay, what is this Bharat Taxi Initiative? So it is a first of its kind of cooperative driven citizen first national ride hailing services. What is a ride hailing initiative? So it is an initiative which is similar to the Uber or the Ola taxi services, where the customer can book a service on the digital platform and the service is being provided. Okay, so it is first of its kind. Why? Because it is based on the cooperative principle. So what is it? It is nothing but the shared responsibility plus transparency. Okay, so for this initiative, almost 8 cooperatives has been backing financially. So what are those cooperatives which are backing this initiative? So they are the NCDC, the IFCO, the AMUL, the CRIPCO, NAFED, NABARD, NDDP and NCEL. So these are the different cooperatives which are backing this Bharat Taxi initiative financially. So why is it so important? Because of its cooperative in nature. So this initiative is also aligning with the one more government's flagship program. What is it? Digital India. Okay, so because it is using the digital platform for the ride hailing services, it is aligning with the Digital India program, where the delivery system is completely inclusive. So it includes all the citizens, citizen centric. So citizen first attitude will be maintained, and also the technology enabled services. So this is the specific digital service. So another important facts we need to remember about this program is that the National E-Governance Division of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology is providing with the integration and technical architecture. Okay, so this division, so the National E-Governance Division provides the architecture of integration and technology, right? So what is the specialty of this application is that it integrates with the other government platforms like DigiLocker, Umang and the API Setu for seamless identity verification. So if a person is downloading this application, then he may not require to upload his ID card or upload a selfie, so that for verification, customer verification. So if the user is already having the DigiLocker or any other of these apps, then the identification is seamless. Okay, so there is a fast and seamless identification of user ID. Okay, so the security, compliance and infrastructure, etc. are being on the government's data protection norms, and the cyber security is very strong for this application. Okay, so who is the program advisory? The program advisory is the National E-Governance Division of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So there is a expanded usage or accessibility, where the user interface is having multilingual capabilities, where this app is launched in many languages in India, and also having the inclusive access features for all the citizens. So that is why this Bharat Taxi platform is very special. So as of now, it has already recruited more than 200 drivers from 4 different regions, that is the NCR Delhi, the Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh and also the Maharashtra. Okay, so it is going to launch in December 2025. Right, these are the important facts you need to know about the Bharat taxi app. So the next important app is the Sugamya Bharat app. So Sugamya Bharat is launched under the Accessible India campaign. So Accessible India campaign. So what is this program? So this program is meant to increase the accessibility to the public. In what? So in public sector or the public transport, for public services and infrastructure. So in these area, the accessibility to the public must be enhanced. The main important thing for accessibility in this app is the enhancing accessibility for Divyangjan and the elderly citizens. So for differently abled people and the elderly people who are belonging to the one of the vulnerable sections, they must be provided access to these services. That is the main primary cause of this app. Okay, so who launched it? So it is launched by Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities. Under which ministry? Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So this is the department and ministry which are responsible for implementation of Sugamya Bharat app. Right. The next important key features of Sugamya Bharat app is the accessibility mapping function. This is very important. So when the users are using this app, they can geotag that location and rate the services, public services. So thereby the citizens themselves are providing data in this app. Okay, so whether there are public toilets especially for the differently abled persons, or there are sidewalks, or there are any other facilities for these category of people can be mentioned. So the data will be accurate because the citizens themselves are providing the data. Thereby we are empowering with the information, right? And there is second important component, consolidated directory. Okay, so this app is acting as a platform where we can get all the information related to government schemes, the scholarships, benefits and employment opportunities. So a person, especially the elderly or the differently abled person, need not visit multiple portals and multiple websites for different things. So all these are being integrated into one single area. So that is in this app. Okay. So curated job and education listings. So the third important component where we have the information related to job and education listings in the government as well as the private sector will be tailored for the persons with disabilities. So all the information is made available to them to access the information easily. So this is the third important component. So where we have the geotagging of location and rating it, and the complete directory of all the information. And also third important component is the curated job and education listings. Okay, so along with that we have the grievance redressal module. So the citizens who are using that platform can log in and register the complaints regarding the accessibility or any other grievance. It can be related to cleanliness, etc. Okay, and also it is a inclusive model where it is available in multiple Indian languages, and also it is easily downloaded for the Android and the iOS platforms. So provision in the multiple languages increases the scope of this app, whereby people from different languages can download it. Okay, so it is revamped with the AI powered chatbot. So to assist in the real time, so if we have a problem, we can directly log in and we can have a communication or chat with this AI powered chatbot. Immediately our issue can be addressed. Okay, so in how many languages this app is available? In 10 different languages. So the next important article is the Research Development Innovation Scheme, the RDI scheme. So what is this RDI scheme? So it is a scheme which is approved by the Cabinet, Union Cabinet in July 2025. Okay, so this scheme, this RDI scheme supports the private players, the private sectors, either big companies or the startups, to encourage the research, development and innovation, especially in the sunrise sectors. So what are sunrise sectors? The sunrise sectors are the sectors or the initiatives which are very important for us in the economic security and strategic purpose, self-reliance. So what are these sectors? They are the AI, they are the robotics, they are the IoT, renewable energy, biotechnology, etc. So these industries where there is a lot of potential for the rapid growth, as well as which are economically, strategically very important for India, are the sunrise sectors. So the government want the private people, private players, either the companies or the startups, to invest money in research, development and innovation. Okay, then only there can be a technology transfer. So research will be converting into technology and it will be used in the daily life. Okay, so which is the nodal department which is overseeing this startup initiative? So it is the Department of Science and Technology. So the Department of Science and Technology is overseeing this initiative. So through this initiatives, the non-banking financial services will be given a amount. So what is the corpus amount approved? It is a 1 lakh crore amount. So the corpus amount of 1 lakh crore has been provided by the Union government, where this amount will be given to the next level managers, so who are the non-banking financial companies. So they will in turn give money to these private players through long-term financing, that is with the long tenure with very low or nil interest rates. So what will be the interest rate? Very less or zero. So these loans are given for a long term. Okay. So the next important fact you need to remember is Deep Tech Fund of Funds. So in this 1 lakh crore budget, there is a allocation of separate fund related to the deep technology or the emerging technologies. So our research and development in this arena is also given a separate fund, which we are calling it as Deep Tech Fund of Funds. Okay, so who is taking care of the governance of this initiative? It is the Anusandhan National Research Foundation. So this foundation is chaired by whom? The Prime Minister himself. So this will provide the strategic direction. This foundation will provide guidelines for the implementation of RDI scheme. So these are the important facts we need to remember about this article. So these are the important